Okay, we're back. It's Wednesday Wisdom Women Fall Edition. As you know, we did Wednesday Wisdom Women back in spring. We had 8 guests on. If you wanted to see some of those discussions, you can go back into the highlights, and all of them are on there. And this is something that is sort of this place for us to chat and talk with other people in the world of wellness and self-development and just reflecting on who were the people that empowered us, the women in our life, bringing us to where we are today. So that has been something that I have found to be super powerful as I've been in women's circles and in my coaching that I do with people. I find that group energy and sharing of likeness of backgrounds and where we come from is just marvelous. It's something that I love every time. So we'll be doing that today. And today we will have a guest on. Her name is Chitra Rochlani, and she's going to be joined. Oh, she just joined us. Fantastic. Tech is working. It's day 1, and you never know what's going to happen. The dog is pretty relaxed. You'll see how he does during this. And she'll be joining us as our first guest to kick off the fall edition of Wednesday Wisdom Women. And I see the request. I think we'll pull that up right now. It always takes like a moment to sync. Hopefully that's still processing.
Hey Rachel.
Hello, Titch. I always act surprised when it works. I'm like, wow,
It worked.
it's like
Yes,
surprising to me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm
Thank
doing
you
great.
so
It's
much for
like the
doing this.
first one. I always get a little nervous with the first one. I'm like, okay, it's been a while. There's been a whole summer
Aw.
that's transpired, but I'm so grateful that you came on today and
Mm.
it's just so lovely and it's so nice to see you. I haven't seen you most of the summer, right? I don't think.
Yeah, it's been busy,
Yeah.
but we're
Yeah.
gonna see each other soon. So
And we are, that's right.
yes.
Very excited for an upcoming retreat. And I was just prefacing this. I was discussing kind of the background on Wednesday Wisdom Women. It kind of was birthed out of discussions and women's and all the workshops like you do all the time, where I could just see so much power in the discussion of like, who were the people that moved us into the space of empowerment or brought us into I mean, I just feel like a lot of the people that do either coaching or wellness or branding experts, even marketing, all of that is it comes from a place of real confidence, and usually it takes a journey to get there. So I love to hold this space as a place to reflect on that, and we had such good feedback for the first time. So I'm happy to kick off today and have you here with us. And so I guess the best thing to do is like just introduce yourself a little bit, tell us about what you do.
Okay, yeah, I'm so honored to be here and be the first one in your next series. I love whatever you do. Everything you do is just so amazing, and the energy that you show up with is incredible. So thank you once again
Likewise.
for having
Mm.
me. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Chitra Rochlani. I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm an author of the best-selling book, The Warrior Mindset. So as you can tell, I'm all about the mindset. And I help you tame your inner evil witch who is telling you you're not good enough. And I am helping people unleash their inner warriors by using my signature framework, which is the peel, feel, and
Mm,
heal. We
mm,
peel the layers of the old conditioning, we feel the emotions that come up, and then we heal together so we can bring out your best self and share it with the world.
mm.
Yeah, so that's me. I think that's it. Yeah.
I love it, and it was so on par with the season. I'm like, oh, the inner witch. Where can we go with that? It's so true, right? We just come. I feel like, the mindset, like you said, is the most important thing, and it is because this is where our perception on the world begins. And I think it's kind of natural that that's going to be a constant bit of work that we do in our life. There's so many layers like that you peel, feel, and heal, like you were talking about, that evolve as we get older. Like I'm, early 40s, and I feel like new peeling is starting, even now,
Yes.
which is natural, I
It never
think.
ends. Yeah, it never ends, right? We're in it for life long, but it gets easier as we do it more and more.
That's true. That is true. I would say, thank you for saying that, because I do feel like sometimes it's like, well, is this supposed to be a drag or hard? Actually, the more you peel and feel all of this, it just becomes sort of routine. You're
Yeah.
just like, oh, there's a new layer coming out. So
Yeah.
your
I mean,
perception.
it's like when you start working out, it's so hard. When you start
Yeah.
eating clean, it's so hard. When you get into a new relationship, it's like complicated. And then as you do it more and more, you find a rhythm. And then it's like, okay, well, something came up, I can deal with it right away. Peel, feel, heal, and done, right? As opposed to dealing with that whole baggage that we've been carrying forever and ever that we haven't even looked at. So
I totally agree with that. It's like the first peeling is a big bag of baggage. And after that,
yeah.
we don't let it fill up so much. It's not as like
Yes.
painful, I would say,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. And I believe you said that you are going to lead us as most of the sessions begin. Some people, we've had someone do some tapping, breathing, whatever, because I find that it's just a great place to be here now and become present. So you were going to share something, a little exercise with us today.
Oh, yes, I'd love to. Thank you for the opportunity. So I will share a little visualization exercise.
Okay.
And I didn't mention earlier, but you know this, that I am a medium and an intuitive healer, and that is something I hid from the world for 20 plus years. And I am now out there comfortable sharing it with everyone for 2.5 years. And it all happened as a result of all of the, things I felt and healed in myself, and I became the most authentic version of myself. And so,
Mm.
this visualization that I want to do for your audience is really about sharing, uncovering who you are underneath all of those layers,
Mm.
and finding the courage to share your truth with the world. Because when you do, you get into the highest frequency possible, which is authenticity. And then when you attract from that place, you're attracting your deepest desires or things that are ideally meant for you in this lifetime that you didn't even know were meant for you. So we'll do a little breathing, and I guess I'll just guide it, and then people can follow
That
along. Does that sound good?
sounds great. Yeah,
Okay. And we
perfect. Thank
have,
you.
what, a couple minutes to do
Yeah,
this?
just a couple
Yeah.
minutes and then we'll
Yeah.
kick off our conversation.
Okay. So I'm going to try to just live channel this, and we'll see where it goes, because I never know what's
Ooh.
happening. So everybody just close your eyes if you're here. Take a deep breath, couple of breaths just to center yourself. Taking in all the good air, all the good oxygen, letting it nourish your body, and just letting everything that is on your mind clear out. In this moment, there is no need for lists, there is no need for to-dos, there's no need for stress. In this one moment, we're just going to let go of all of that just for now. And I want to invite you to just think about who you are underneath the layers that the world has put on you. Because when I ask people this question, who are you? The first thing they say is, I am a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a wife, I'm a spouse, I'm a parent, I'm a brother, I'm a dad. I want you to think about all of those things, and they will come to your mind. And I want you to put them aside. And you don't have to shove them away. They're here, they're yours, and they're your roles to play in this lifetime. But for now, we're going to put them into a box on the side. You can gently place them in there, and then just take a moment to see what's left after you have removed all of those layers, all of those titles, all of those labels, and start to tap into who you are as a soul, as a spirit, who came down to this earth. What makes you come alive? What makes you feel good? What makes you excited? What lights you up? And you will notice that it comes down to things that you might be curious about, things that you want to feel connected to, or things that you find compassion for. And as you get curious, and as you find that compassion, and as you find that community that fills your soul, and you feel connected to your own soul, I want you to turn all of that love, all of that compassion back to yourself because you deserve it more than anyone else. Now, after putting all of those labels aside, giving yourself all the love that you need, all the love that you deserve, taking it from the source directly, imagining a light coming down from the universe, down through your crown chakra, over your head, into your body, and filling you with love. Just feel that love. Just sit with it. We don't take time to sit with our feelings, especially this positive love and light. Just sit with it. Feel it. Imagine it. Embrace it. And as you do that, you will start to know or have a clue or have a hint of who you are underneath all those layers and what makes you as a soul, as a spirit, come alive. I want you to take a word or an image or a visual that comes to mind when you think of this question. Who am I under all of those layers that the world has put on me, under all of the labels that I have been taught to believe, under all of those thoughts and ideas that I have believed for so long but don't serve me? Who am I under all of that? And as that image, that visual, that word, that thought, that phrase comes to your mind, hold on to that and spend some time with that all week. Just see where it takes you and where it leads you, because your intuition is going to guide you where you need to go if you allow it space, if you declutter the mind and let that space open up to receive. Let's take another deep breath, taking in all of that love and compassion for ourselves. Feel it, embrace it, and sit with it. And slowly come back. Open your eyes and feel free to share if something came up for you in the comments.
That was beautiful. Thank you for that. You went into like a whole other voice and
That's what happens.
land. So, yes. And if anybody had something that came up about your authentic self, I mean, it's kind of like claiming it when you put that in the chat. So you're welcome to share that down below. I will share that it was immediately like this image came up of like playfulness. And I was like, gosh, I love to play and play. And it was like playful and connector. Like that was the
Love
moment
that.
that like we just don't sit with ourselves to sit and hear what we really are, not just the taxpayer, the housekeeper, the things that we
Yeah.
do in our life. Uber driver, which I've been doing a lot of lately.
It's so easy to get caught up in that. So
Yeah,
easy.
it
But,
is.
if we take more and more time to reconnect with ourselves, we can be guided to do the things that we want, and life can become so much easier. And we live in a state of flow that like I've had so many signs and synchronicities happen. I'm sure you have too, where, if I'm having a crazy busy day, I'll have someone cancel an appointment, or I'll have someone say, hey, I'm going to the school, do you want me to pick up your kid? And I'm like, yes, I would love that. But then the universe is working for you, working to help you, when we're aligned. But if we're not, and we're in that hamster wheel carrying these invisible backpacks and running, chasing after an idea of success that the world gives us, then we're just lost, frustrated, and confused all the time.
Oh, I can't wait to hear. And I know I would love to talk about like what you have coming up tonight, which is another beautiful space to like practice this. But I want to learn about you. So we're gonna jump right into the questions, because I know this is kind of like the bigger picture of that everybody has. Like we all have our stories of the women in our life who had an impact, and I've brought up before that it's been negative or positive. I had a boss once in New York City who was just like, if you think of Devil Wears Prada, like this was her. Oh, was that my internet? Are you there? Oops, sorry, one second.
I think I clicked something
Okay,
accidentally because I had a
you're here
notification.
still. I see
Okay,
you. Okay.
sorry.
So, good or bad empowerment? My question that I start with always is, who were your empowered women role models in your life?
Mhm. So many, right?
Mhm.
So many from, just people in my neighborhood to my communities to, famous people. When I moved to this country like 25 years ago, I would watch Oprah
Yeah.
every day. And that was a big role model, and I was like, oh my gosh, she knows like
Great.
she knows my mind inside out. How does she do that? And then I had the opportunity to, follow Elizabeth Gilbert. She's a big role model
Mhm.
for me. I love how she shows up for, minority women, and I love how she models that and how real and authentic and vulnerable, she is. My mom, she's my role model. I call her my original OG warrior. And she has shown me the power of a positive mindset,
Mhm.
and it would annoy the crap out of me when I was a young teen, but now I've
Naturally.
become her and then some. Yeah, so those are a few.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, especially along the lines of being a medium, I was really curious, was there people in that world that maybe give you that confidence to move into that energy more?
Yes. So, I've been a medium for 25
Mhm.
years now, and it's something that I've used for myself a lot. I've relied on that gift so much. And my family is all full of mediums, so it's been amazing. But
Wow.
I had two people who really, two of my spiritual friends who I think came into my life 3 years ago. Oh my God, there's like a huge eagle flying outside. And it's like
A bald
low,
eagle?
bald eagle. It looks like an eagle. It just flew like huge wings, like huge. I don't know what it was. I'll have to go look. Sorry, I got distracted
No,
there.
that's
I think it's a
amazing.
sign. Yes.
Yes.
I feel the blessings, but maybe that's who I need to talk about is my guides because when life wasn't going my way or when I was struggling with things like being a chronic people pleaser
Mhm.
and that leading to a sense of burnout and resistance and resentment, I needed help. And so not only did I lean into my guides to say, okay, well, if this is how it's supposed to be, then why am I not happy? If this is what success is defined as for me and given to me, then why am I still feeling lost, frustrated, confused?
Mhm.
What's the path? And so as I started leaning into them, I attracted two women who are in the spiritual world who came into my life and gave me the courage to share this gift with the world. And they were like, you have to share this. This is amazing. And so they were so crucial and vital in sharing, helping me share that gift with the world. And I think sometimes you need that gentle, like nudge and push and, empowerment to go ahead and be yourself fully. And it was so liberating when I shared it because then there was like nothing that I was hiding from the world. And this is me and all my glory and
Mm.
all my messiness and all my craziness showing up fully, authentically, wholly for everyone else.
Mm. I think that's so true. I mean, that's a very, very brave thing to do because I think that especially, I mean, I'm just speaking from my own story of like after having children, and I think there was a good couple years I'm here in New Jersey as you are, but like we had moved back, we lived abroad, and I was like, I want nothing to do with my old career. Motherhood has changed me in so many ways. And I think I see other successful women like, okay, this is how they become successful again. And it was like, it was just not that. And it was such a I found that the resistance was what made it last so much longer of finding my authentic voice, energy, my purpose for the next things. Do you find that a lot with that, like just right after motherhood? I'm just curious, like, because that seems to be who I kind of encounter a lot.
I think motherhood definitely changes you, and it is the hardest job that we ever do.
Mm.
But I think it also shows you so much about yourself. Like, I don't know about you, but I see myself in my kids. And then we're thankfully living in an age where we are encouraging our kids to be themselves. And
Yeah.
so as I empowered my kids to be themselves, I was like, whoa, this is like I wasn't allowed to do that. I was, you know, like when I was growing up, it was like you got to fit into this box and you got to fit into this mold and you have to be good and you can't speak up and you can't be loud and you can't be this and you can't be that. And there were so so many rules that we kind of forgot who we were. And so watching my kids kind
Mm.
of be who they are gave me permission, gave me courage to be who I was. And I was already, I think, on my journey to, like, being in alignment with my soul, with my spirit. And I didn't want to, once I started to go on this path of finding a way to be aligned, I didn't want to step
Mhm.
back. I didn't want to stop because I was like, I love how liberated this makes me feel. So I want to keep going. And so motherhood, yeah, it's the most challenging thing and it changes you, but it also makes you come alive in ways that you might not expect. So I would say, to anyone that's listening and dealing with that resistance, pay attention to it because resistance is nothing but a clue into what you need to break away from, what you need to be free from. Like, why am I feeling this resistance? And in my workshop that I'm doing tonight, it's called Why Are You Here? And
Mhm.
it's like one prong of that why is all about breaking that old conditioning. The other side, oh, I don't know why we just had balloons go up. That was funny.
It does
Okay.
that in some hand gestures now. I have to
Oh,
watch myself do like
okay.
this. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then the other side is, the world that we're living in, and it's like, okay, what do I like from this world, and how can I bring those together so I can shed the layers that I want to shed? I guess we're celebrating authenticity with balloons. So hey, so
So good.
you take what serves you from your old conditioning, you will take what serves you from your new conditioning, shed everything else, you bring it together, and then you use your intuition and your guidance to then plant your stake in the ground. And that's the
Mm.
why, and I think it's such a beautiful journey if you allow it to keep moving. It's when we like hunker down and sit in this like little
Mm.
hole and say, I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to move. This is too hard. And that's when we kind of get stuck.
Hmm. Oh, good. Somebody explained it. It's certain hand gestures that triggers balloons and heart. I didn't know that was in Instagram too. I thought it was just
Uh,
my Zoom that I had to
uh,
turn that on. But that's okay
yeah,
because it is a celebration when we come into that like awareness and it's like you have this breakthrough really, much like a
yes,
balloon popping of where, you can see that that resistance is the key. The resistance is sort of where to direct your attention, but like it doesn't have to, we're not going to completely, when we say transformation, it's not like you completely threw the caterpillar in the garbage. Like that is part of what made you. Those stories are a part of
yeah,
you. And that's a part of the butterfly that comes out of it. It's like this is not like you're going to completely leave your life and or motherhood or whatever like this.
no,
It's just like you can expand it and see what else is out there that
yeah.
is to lean
And
into.
you
So,
know, those things that we're running away from, or we're trying to change, or we're trying to let go of, have a superpower hidden inside of them.
yeah.
So, as a chronic people pleaser, as someone who was super sensitive, I have an incredible amount of compassion for people. I
Mm-hmm.
have an incredible amount of patience for people when I sit with them and hold space for them now.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes from years and years of being able to serve in a way that, even though it was depleting me at the time,
Mm-hmm.
it gave me this quality that I can carry on further with boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it allows me to hold space for people in a unique way. And so, whatever it is that you're trying to get away from, and the resistance is coming up, like even if you're a perfectionist, you have this knack of doing things in a way that just feels so put together and is done so beautifully. So it's not all bad, right? It's not all bad. All of those things that we're trying to get rid of or change in our life, they have a role, they have a purpose, and they're going to lead back the good parts as you kind of shed those layers.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. That's so true. And my next question I usually ask is about like, well, what do you think are the traits of an empowered woman? But I think with you, I mean, now that you're talking about like this, how we change in life, did you have like a set of ideas that you said, this is an empowered woman, maybe early in life, and then something that you believe later in life? If like, has that shifted for you? If it has?
Mm, tell me again what you mean by that.
Well, like for instance, for me, I would say like when I was younger, an empowered woman is like working girl shoulder pads at a
Mm,
conference table, and the nanny has the kids, and this is like
yeah,
my man doesn't talk back to me, and just like so
this
different. And now it's
idea.
more about I have a flexible schedule. I'm empowered I'm connected to my body, like those, it's just different for me
Yeah,
now. And I wondered if you had a different earlier one in
for
now.
sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, when we were growing up, like, especially I come from India, and over there it was like you're either an engineer, doctor, lawyer, or failure. Those were the options.
Failure.
And I've heard other people in other cultures share similar
Hmm.
things. So, it's career success, financial success is what was looked up as being, someone who has made it, someone who is
Hmm.
empowered, and then as I was, growing up, I realized that even though people had career success or financial success or material success, they weren't really happy. And so,
Hmm.
I started to kind of shift my own definition of that. And, I think, again, my mom comes to mind because she's always emphasized on how much being a good person and giving back to the community is what will bring you peace and joy. And I realized that over time, it doesn't matter if you've accumulated a lot of material success. It's great. I have nothing against it, but it's not the recipe to happiness. Because if
Hmm.
it was, every rich person would be thrilled and happy with their life, But there are a lot of rich people we know who are miserable. So,
Yeah.
it's really, it comes down to understanding yourself. And, the more I read about the mindset, the more I studied it, the more I heard about, psychology and all of those, personal growth topics. It just came down to one thing. All of the books, all the psychology books, all the personal growth books will say two things. One is get to know yourself really, really well. And two is to then lead from there. Because
Mm.
if you don't know yourself, you are living on someone else's terms.
I love that. That's so, in a nutshell. Thank you for sharing that, because like I think that's what empowerment can be redefined as. Like
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
yourself, lead from there, and the rest will fall into place. I think.
Yeah, and we are so afraid. We're so afraid to allow that to happen because we've been
Mhm.
conditioned to believe that if we don't hustle, if we don't work hard, if we don't do, then we're not going to get there.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, like, I've spent the last year, I got into the whole professional speaking business,
Mhm.
and we've talked about this before, but it's really about attracting, not chasing.
Yeah.
And in order to attract, we have to do just one thing, is to raise our frequency so high. And the highest frequency that we can get to is authenticity. It is
Yeah.
4,000 times higher than love.
Yeah.
So if we are authentic, we begin attracting at a level that you can't even imagine. It's so fast and it's so easy. And I've attracted like 15 or 16 speaking opportunities this year without one application. And that to me
So
is proof.
do you feel like, because I think a lot of people think of like, okay, authenticity, it's a buzzword. Like, what does that mean? Like, would you say that that is a great kind of idea, shows that you're in the right direction where you're start attracting like things? Is that kind
Yeah.
of like how you know you're on the right track? Because some people are like, I don't know what's authentically me. Like, how do I
Yeah.
even get in
And
there?
I'll tell you, you have a simple definition for authenticity. When you are aligned in your thoughts, your words, and your actions.
Hmm.
Because our energy is wasted mostly in trying to hide our true feelings, hide our pain, pretend everything's okay, and show up with a mask. And if we take all of that off, and I'm not saying to, go out and speak everything that's on your mind, but as long
Right.
as you are aligned and, raising your vibration, you are going to have thoughts, words, and actions that are in sync.
Hmm.
And you're not going to waste a lot of time trying to cover up for the thoughts, or speaking in a way that is, oh, how will so and so perceive what I say? How will we're not even thinking about those things.
Right.
And that frees up so much space that we start to then tap into our most underutilized superpower, our intuition. Because you declutter the mind, you make space. You make space, intuition comes in. You follow the intuition, you start to attract, right?
Mhm.
So yes, you can definitely look around at your life and see what you're attracting right now. And if it
Mhm.
feels easy and it feels like you're in flow, then you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So stick to it.
I
Yeah.
know. There's of course, like I think the other work you do always supports like trusting that. I think
Yes.
sometimes the ease starts to happen and people are like, I don't even, there's no way. Like it, or, and then that resistance happens, like it can get us in a cycle of not really feeling into that faith of it. But I don't know, what comes up for you as I share that resistance?
It's, I think that what comes up is really that we have to notice how far we've gone from this feeling of being centered and
Mm-hmm.
aligned.
Mm-hmm.
And so, depending on how far you are from it, if you're so caught up on the hamster wheel with these invisible backpacks, just running, 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 there's no way that you can even think about intuition, let alone sit with it
Right.
and receive it,
Right.
right?
The
So, I think
backpacks.
the first thing for people is to recognize how far you are from there, from the
Yeah.
center, right? And if you are really far, then you're going to have to first make your way back to center. And that's going to be a journey in itself. And if you are somewhere close to your center, then it comes to, okay, well, I feel good enough. Can I trust? Can I put my faith in the universe? And can I have fun with it? You were talking about play. Let's have
Mm-hmm.
fun with intuition. It doesn't have to be, oh my
Right.
God, I have to meditate for 20 hours a day. No, it can be as simple as, what do I feel like eating today? What does my body need? Open the fridge and just pause and let that intuition come in.
Mm.
That one moment of pause, right? And then again, the more you declutter, that
Yeah.
receiving becomes easier and easier and easier. And so it becomes easier to trust and have faith and have fun with it. Like I've attracted things recently that I didn't even put out actively and say, "Hey universe, find me this."
Mm-hmm.
And it just like there's a store that I wanted to go to in New York the other day. I was going with a friend. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna look up because I buy these lotions from there. And I said I'm gonna look up the name because I couldn't remember the name. It's a Korean store. And so I forgot to look up the name because I was rushing out the door. And then as I reached there, we're about to park the car and the store is right in front of us.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay, well, I guess it can
convenient.
be that easy, right? I mean, I subconsciously maybe somewhere thought about it. I didn't even have time to process the thought to say, okay, universe, can you please help me find this store? But it just appeared out of nowhere around the parking spot. So what are the odds, right? But that's how easy
That's
and
that's the
amazing
truth.
life can be. Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like that is more the truth. Like we complicate things our own ways. And I think that it's a testament to the work that you do. Because I think that when you're constantly like cleaning out the backpack and doing the work of like being in alignment and authentic, I feel like it starts to become second nature. I'm like, oh yeah, there's the parking spot I needed. Of course.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's becoming like just expected. Like I expect life to be a little bit easier, but that wasn't overnight. I mean, that was definitely because we
Oh,
have a world
no.
of being kind of a cynic and on guard and defensive with things, and it's like an attitude shift over time. With the work you do is I feel like it opens your heart up to the possibilities. And when we just open that little window, how much bigger and how much bigger it could be that I didn't even think
That
it could
is.
be even that great.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
It's
beauty of it.
beautiful. That's
Mhm.
what I want everyone to experience,
Yes.
that magic, that beauty, that abundance that is there for you because then we don't compete. We don't, you know, hate on each other. We don't do any of that. It's all love and compassion and kindness.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the more we're all alive, the more we're all collectively growing and feeding each other the love and compassion that we need.
Mm. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
goal, definitely,
the
for sure.
goal.
Well, before we wrap up our time today, and I am just mindful of everybody's time, I would really love to just hear what you have brewing right now. I know you have something tonight that's like right away, which I'm going to make sure all of this we talk about, I'm going to put straight into my stories, and link that in there too for anybody interested, because it's just like if this landed in your Instagram feed today, it's probably meant for you and to give it a try. So share with us about that.
Oh, I'd love to. Yes, thank you so much. What a wonderful conversation this has
Mhm.
been. So I'm hosting a virtual visual workshop. Try saying that 3 times. It's called Why Are You Here? Why Are You Here? And we're going
Don't bring
to,
those balloons back.
I know, maybe I should. I don't know how to do it
I know.
though. I know, but Why Are You Here is a workshop that is really about finding your purpose, decluttering the mind. And it's an overview, it's 2 hours We're going to spend some time working on active prompts and kind of just answering some questions that are thought provoking that might help you uncover some of the resistance that is there, peel some of those layers, feel what's coming up, and then together letting go of what's holding you back. And the last half hour, 20 to 30 minutes of that workshop will be a guided meditation, just like kind of the visualization we did, but of course, much deeper and longer. And I invite people to just, curl into the bed or their couch at the end, turn off their videos and just listen in and fall asleep if they wish to. But that's tonight, 7 to 9 p.m. The information for that is on my website. It's fitwarriorlife.com. And you can look under workshops and you will find everything there. And I'll also post a link in the comments below later.
Oh, perfect. That is such, I mean, I love that there's just like action you can take right now. Like the action sometimes that I can take is just learning and being open to different ways of doing this digging and peeling, and also you have great voice for doing those meditations. That was very healing today. I am
Oh,
so
thank
grateful for
you.
your time and for you bringing all that you're offering to this world. I'm always like just in admiration of you and how you have just boldly claimed like who you are, and how that is just naturally, like with ease, building such a beautiful community that you're connected
Thank
with.
you.
So
Thank you
thanks,
for having
Chitra.
me. Thank you so
This
much.
is
This has been a pleasure.
You're very welcome. And for anybody watching, thank you so much for the comments and for giving us some waves in there. That was really nice. This will be saved, and I'm going to just collab. It should go on Chitra's board as well. And the info for the Why Are You Here, which is tonight at 7 o'clock. Highly recommend you join. I love everything that Chitra does. So this is going to be an amazing workshop tonight. And any questions, just throw them on the comment. If this was anything that resonated for you, if you saw anything in your visualization, please share them, because it's always good to get some feedback and to have fun with these on every Wednesday. So we'll be back next week with our next guest, another 1 o'clock live that will be recorded as well. I feel like I'm a TV show, like
You're a
and
pro.
that's great. Yeah, and Chitra is at Fit Warrior Life. That's
Correct.
fitwarriorlife.com.
Yes. All my information's there. Follow me on
Absolutely.
Instagram. You'll see
Yes.
that info here. If you can't make it and have questions, just pop in. Let me know. I love having these conversations.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She's fantastic. So thanks again, Chitra. So we'll see you soon. Actually, we'll see
Thank
you around.
you. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.